Afternoon, one and all. There's Angela over there. I just need to check to see if she's going to point the right way. Angela?
So I'm going against what I think. So Tracy, if you're on here, Justine today was telling me how much she was laughing, the fact that I get it wrong every time. So I'm going the opposite to what I think it is. There's Alan over there. We were asked Cripps Clarke.
So last week we used the word normal quite a lot, and I had a mini brain fart. Angela tends to have the big brain farts, but we thought we'd try and get back to normal. In other words, try and get back to what we originally said we would do on these webinars, which was let's review the news from the week and talk about it, which sounds so much like fun, doesn't it? And Angela reads the news and she watches the news. I don't. I just rely upon my wife when she's on her Daily Mail news feed on her phone. So what we've done is we've done something a little bit different, because I've actually got some news headlines from this week. I know what I've got, but I don't know what Angela's got. So the idea is that we're going to take it in turns to read out our news headlines from this week, and we'd like you to vote on who's trumped who. So if you think Angela's news item is better than mine, just type in her initials, well, not her initials, but the first two letters, AN, because we've actually got the same initials, AC.
We're both AC, so that's not going to work. So I'm going to be AN and Alan's going to be AL.
Yeah, but just don't put the two together in the feed. You've only got to vote for one, all right? So
top trumps wise then, we'll then be able to see who's had the best story. Now, there's an element to this that means you could actually top us, because top trumps, remember, well, maybe people don't remember, but certainly it was big when I was a kid, and actually my daughter at 22, we had so many top trump cards.
Yeah.
Must have had about 20 different packets of all the different ones. The Doctor Who ones were good. So top trumps, the element is that you have a card each. You don't see what the other person's got. You pick an element from that card, and then the other person picks their element, and it's whoever gets the best one gets both cards. Yeah. So the aim is that we're going to see if we can top trump each other this week. So you could actually put yours in as well.
Yeah, I suspect that both Stephen O'Donnell and Louise Trance know exactly what top trumps are. and I used to remember the car ones, and I just loved looking at the JPS Formula One car. I just still got that image in my head. Anyway, let's get back to the news. The first one is called "You Had One Job." And I saw this headline on Wednesday, and it was these words: Home Office has no idea how many people are in the UK illegally. And then it went, and I thought, what? It went on to explain that the National Audit Office says that the government hasn't updated its figures in 15 years. And I'm thinking, hold on a minute, they could have had that headline 15 years ago. The government doesn't know how many people are in the UK illegally. Can't find them. It doesn't know where they are. So you could have the same headline in 15 years' time. So the National Audit Office, they got one job. Count. They can't even get that job right. So that's my one.
So my top trump then that I'm picking up is actually, I thought I'd go along the similar lines. HM Passport Office, anyone this week? Came out. The new passport is out. People are receiving their new passports. Think about what a big issue they made about the fact if we came out, if we had Brexit, we'd get our blue passports back. Guess what? The new passports, they're black.
No.
Job.
Yeah, but I think black passports matter. I think. Okay. So Angela's one is the passports. My one is the government losing count of people that they didn't know were here. So AN for Angela or AL for me. And please don't put us both in. And then whilst we're waiting for your two votes, Angela will type in what the next one is, which is called Typically British. So I'll let you go first on this because I don't know what your story is. I know what mine is.
Okay, so my typically British is that we come up with the most amazing things. We are innovators. We invent so many things, but then we don't get it just quite right. So my bit of news of the week is Hawkeye. Typically British. We've been waiting all these months for football to come back, and we had Aston Villa Sheffield, the first match. There's a goal and it doesn't get counted after all these months because Hawkeye didn't see it. It's the first time in 9,000 games that they've admitted that they couldn't see the ball. The 7 cameras that were in the stadium watching whether the ball goes over the line. And actually what happened was the goalkeeper caught the ball and took it over the line himself. But because he had it like this and because he had defenders around him and because he was behind the bar, he didn't see it and didn't register it. There was no goal. And people were wondering whether they'd actually turned it on to start with. They thought that they'd forgotten to turn it on. A bit like me sometimes if I'm on mute. Going back. Yeah. So British. Sorry, say that again?
I thought Hawkeye was in tennis.
Well, it's used in football for the goal line technology as well. It's the same company, yes.
Oh, okay. Right. So I've got to try and beat that then, have I? All right.
Yeah.
My one for typically British revolves around this headline. Severe weather warnings issued for flooding in the UK ahead of a heat wave. I mean, we live in Great Britain. We live in the UK. We know that the weather is going to change. I say to people, look, if you don't like the weather in the UK, wait 5 minutes because it's going to change. You know, we've got torrential storms, we've got downpours, and then all of a sudden, sun's out. I mean, I'm doing some homegrown veg and they're going absolutely crazy right now. So not only do we love to talk about the weather, but also apparently the British love queuing. So we're loving it at the moment, aren't we? The shops are open, it's pissing down with rain, but we don't care because we're British and the weather's going to change in 5 minutes.
Okay, so we need some scores, guys. Otherwise, no one's going to win this.
Well, I reckon I'm 2-0 up.
No, I reckon I'm 2-0 up.
So, Angela, you need to type in the third one. The third round is called Time's Up.
Time's up. Okay, go ahead then. What have you got?
I haven't got a lot to say on this one, but it was a sad day.
That's a smiley face.
What? What, that one? Did I do the wrong one? Right, sad face. And earlier this week, a cat died. But it wasn't just any cat. It was a street cat named Bob, owned by James Bowen. He met Bob in 2007. This guy was, you know, on the streets battling with drug addiction and a few other things. And he met this cat, started talking to it. And basically, a book came out of it and a film came out of it. I mean, okay, dead cat, but slow news day, I reckon.
Oh, I mean, he did travel the world, didn't he? And he changed his life, James Bowen's life around, because he was down and out, very much so. And obviously writing the book and the film and all the rest of it, he's made him. But what an amazing cat. Yeah, definitely. And I was going to come back and trump you, or try to trump you, up until yesterday with Ricky Gervais's cat, because he died recently as well. And Jonathan Ross, I saw the video where Jonathan Ross gave it to him on an actual show years ago. The cat, I think, was about 17. But I think I've got a better top trump.
And I know what you're going to say.
Don't be a villain.
I've already lost.
We'll meet again. It's getting shorter, the singing, honestly. Dame Vera Lynn, who I got to play. I mean, I'm so glad that she made it to the 75th anniversary of VE Day and she saw all that outpouring of love. Yeah. Although update on Sir, yeah, it is Sir, isn't it, Tom?
Hello, Tom.
His comment was, I thought she'd go a bit longer. when I saw that, I was thinking, so he's obviously hoping to beat her at 103 on that one, but 103, and she got to this point. So yeah, how amazing. So we thought we'd put that in the middle because we certainly don't want to finish on Dame Vera Lynn dying. So
no. And actually, whilst you're typing in the next one, which is called No Shit Sherlock, I was just looking around for my cigar. I didn't know whether to bring out the Winston to say, Vera, marvellous, great innings. But I haven't got the 2 bits of cotton wool in my mouth, so I can't do it all that well.
I just remember you did the whole thing with cotton.
I know. My mouth was really dry. Right, okay. This one is called, ladies and gentlemen, No Shit Sherlock. Angela, over to you.
Okay, No Shit Sherlock. It didn't work. Track and trace.
All right, you win.
I didn't realise that it was the lady that was it Talk that headed up Talk was also married to the guy that runs the Cheltenham Festival and got links and all the rest of it. That was the lady that was heading all of this, and it was through her that everyone's data got hacked, didn't it? And millions of people's data got hacked, and she left that job and then went and did this for the app for track and trace. And yeah, what a disaster. Well done, because they thought they could do it better than Apple and Google. Yeah. Hello. Maybe that is typically British as well. We think we know best.
What's really interesting is that I got this isn't my story, by the way, but I got a notification on my phone a couple of months ago, and it was from Google Maps, which I've got on my phone, and it just said, here's your movements for the last month. And it showed me a map of all the places that I've been to. Obviously, they were quite condensed, apart from one little trip. You know, obviously, I had to test out my glasses and my eyesight. But then it had photographs of all the places that I'd visited, you know, the Asda's or the Sainsbury's or Hall Place or whatever. And I thought, God, we've already got the track and trace. It's already live and kicking. Look, my headline is... 15 friends get coronavirus on first night out in a bar after lockdown. So this is a story of 15 people. Erica Crisp is the main protagonist in this. 40 years old. She lives in Florida. Her and her friends decided to go out to this particular bar. It just so happened that it was Lynch's Irish pub. Right? First time of using that pub after lockdown. And of her 15 friends, 10 have been tested positive for coronavirus. She's got it, and 4 are awaiting the results. Now, I've seen a photograph of Lynch's pub that night, and it wasn't so much social distancing. It was more like social intimacy. And it's almost like, no shit, Sherlock, that 15 of you have pretty much got coronavirus because you weren't adhering to any of the rules at all. So that is a win for me.
I think that one is. That's a typical. No, and I could have actually. While you're talking about testing your eyesight, should we test our eyesight?
Yes. Right. So thank you very much for my birthday wishes. On Tuesday, it was my birthday. And on my birthday, my wife very kindly bought me a one of these lamps that lights up my face, because Angela keeps having a go at me about, look, that's me in shadow. That's without my new light on. This is my light on. But when I put my glasses on and face it, I look like the snake out of Jungle Book.
Trust in me.
So I won't wear them. I won't wear them on. I'm going to put my Jurgen Klopps down. Right, so am I going last on the last one? First on the last one?
You are. I mean, I could have actually used track and trace for the last one as well. So what's the last one title, Alan?
Oh, this one is called U-Turn.
Is it?
So this one for me is all about the news, and I'm sure I don't need to tell you, Marcus Rashford talking about, you know, his plight as a youngster and having it very difficult and not having food on the table, and he's managed to turn the government around to sort of give out free school meals during the sort of the COVID crisis and the break. And what particularly got me about this was not so much that story, but the use of the term U-turn. It's always used by our wonderful press, just in case they're watching, as a negative. And yet we've coined a new phrase over the last few months called pivoting, which is pretty much like U-turns. We've had to change direction. If somebody does a U-turn, they've either got new data, they've realised they were wrong, the landscape has changed. So yes, do a U-turn, own up and say, yeah, we got it wrong. So it's good news all round. It's a positive outcome. Oh, I'm definitely going to win on that one.
Well, I must admit, I want Marcus Rashford to win because I think it was a brilliant U-turn. I had a few choices for this, I tell you. I could have had the track and trace because they've now done a U-turn and realised that maybe they should have gone with Apple and Google in the first place, which was what was meant to happen, and a lot of other countries did. Up until yesterday, I was going to be going with the NFL commissioner doing a U-turn on Colin Kaepernick. So if any of you don't watch American football, this was the guy 4 years ago that went down on one knee. And well, you know, the one knee, we got the Black Lives Matter. So he started it in that sense. So it wasn't Dominic Raab from Game of Thrones. From there, so it was about in that sense. So I could have gone that because he's actually done a U-turn now because he was vilified and he's not played since really that season. And the NFL commissioner was saying, actually, I want someone to hire him. We were wrong. So I mean that's a major U-turn from them. But one of the people that really vilified him and said that he should be kicked out and all the rest of it. You knew he was coming. Trump.
Yeah. What I want to finish on.
So I've actually ended on Donald Trump's in Top Trump in his U-turn for today, because today is the 19th of June, which is Juneteenth, it's known as, and I must admit, I didn't know about it either, but it seems like Donald Trump didn't know anything about Juneteenth either, but it is the day that they actually abolished slavery, and therefore it is obviously with Black Lives Matter and everything that's going on there, it is the day that is actually celebrated, and we will all be celebrating it in future, knowing what it is. But he put his rally on today. So the first rally out of lockdown, which obviously is going to be like that party down the pub, is going to be ridiculous. And the fact that he was going to have 50,000 probably mostly white people inside, and he said, well, yes, you could celebrate it as Juneteenth, and it's like, no, your supporters are not celebrators of Juneteenth. So he's changed it to tomorrow. So that was a big U-turn for Donald Trump to actually change it from today, and he did that this week, where he's now got his first rally tomorrow. So good luck with that rally. Good luck with not spreading COVID. I think it might be clearing out a few Trump supporters. So I'm finishing on that Top Trump.
Well, look, we had 5 rounds there. No one voted. So they're obviously making placements. They're doing deals. They've got better things to do than listen to us two witter on. But that means that I have to make the decision. I win.
You went the wrong way round.
You lose. I win. You lose. I win. And on that note, I think we better go.
Let's call it a draw. Now, actually, on that point, and we have noticed this over the last 4 or 5 weeks, that, hi, Jordan, that, where did he come from? That actually we are seeing, we've got more people signing up, so, but we've got less people joining us live. And I think it's because we are working again. A lot of people are working again. And 4:15, originally when this started back in March, not many people were doing much at all, and we thought, well, let's start the weekend early at 4:15 because let's get the drinks in and do it from there and have a bit of a laugh. Well, I think the time has come, Alan, to change it to 5:15 so that people can actually get that extra hour work in. Oh, is that bad for you? I hadn't dealt with it.
I think we need to put that to the vote. We'll leave that to the viewers.
4:15 or 5:15. Let's see if we can get any answers on
Then. Right, cut off now. Cut off.
The first one that comes through, that's the time next week. So let's see, 4:15 or 5:15. We've got 1 minute left before our 20 minutes. Let's see.
It doesn't do me any. If my Friday afternoon golf starts up again, we're going to be doing it at 1 o'clock. on a Friday?
We could do the lunchtime, but there is lots on a Friday lunchtime already. I do like the end of the week. This is it now. I don't have to do any more work after this, but other people do. So
But there is only one Alas Cripps and Clarke there.
Well, there's two.
Everyone is thinking, thank for that. Thank you, Sarah.
5:15 then, because I must admit my days are full at the moment. But
I tell my mates that Sarah Swanton is the person who is responsible for me not being able to play golf now.
No, on your golf days we'll do 4:15. On your non-golf days we'll do 5:15. Everyone gets a memo sent out anyway, so they know when it is. But I reckon people, we know people are coming back afterwards and watching it from there instead. So I think it's just now a little bit too early. So adios, Stephen. Have a great weekend.
Adios. Yeah, thanks, Sarah. Have a good weekend, all.
All right, then. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.